Okay.
What's going on, my peeps? I'm back at you tonight, Monday evening. As you can see, I'm in a different location. All right, I'm actually in a similar location. I'm back at the Cavoli barn. We was here maybe a month ago. I had a great interview with Greg Cavoli. That's my guy. You know, this is the Cavoli barn. This is what he built from the muscle, and great story. So I'm back here tonight, a little different setting, but tonight is going to be really good because the month of March, we're talking about another M word, which is maximize, okay? March is the month to maximize, all right? And I want to talk about a couple things. I'm going to focus on a couple things because when we're talking about maximizing, we're talking about getting the most out of your potential, okay? We're talking about you expanding and fulfilling. We're talking about you not settling, okay? Not going to a certain point and then stop. We're talking about you getting the most out of yourself, okay? Forget about other people's expectations, but we're talking about you getting the most out of you, okay? So, March is for maximizing, and I'm in the Cavoli barn. We're back at you. I got my rock here, okay? Got the ball here. So, here's what I want to do. There are two things I want to talk about, okay, when it comes to maximizing your potential, okay? Before we start on that path, okay, there's one thing we need to do, all right? We need to develop, a strategy, and that strategy involves counting the cost, okay? Actually, in the Bible, there's a scripture that says, count the cost. Before you go on a journey, before you do anything, count the cost. Before you go anywhere, figure out what is it going to take for you to get there, okay? That's very important. In business, it's called a business plan, okay? You got a business, you're working on a business plan. You lay it out, okay? You write it down. All right, that's important. And I have here on the board, okay, March equals maximize. Number one, you count the cost, all right? That's the very first thing you do, okay? You gotta figure out to make sure you're prepared, okay? Failure to plan is planning to fail. And many people start things, okay, and they're not prepared for it. They're not prepared for tomorrow, okay? And you never can be totally prepared for everything, okay? But you can't put yourself in a position, okay, to be prepared as much as possible, all right? So count the cost, sit down, write it down. That's what I'm always talking about, getting pen and paper, okay? I'm big on that. I have probably 5-10 notebooks with stuff written in it, okay? I have notebooks from like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, things I wrote down that I'm actually walking in today, okay? So that's very important. It's not a reality until you put a pen to it. The pen brings your vision to a reality. All right, that's important. So number two, identify obstacles. All right, we must identify obstacles. In business, okay, they talk about, before you get started, who is your competition? Okay, you develop a business plan. A part of your business plan is understanding who is your competition. What are you up against? So you got to survey and figure out the landscape, okay? Many people fail at this one, okay? They just go at it aimlessly and they wonder why they get tripped up. Well, let me say this though. In the game of basketball, okay, you got a basketball goal, okay? I have the goal here, okay? So before you start the game, okay, and I talked about this in a previous podcast, before you start the game, the referees identify which way you're going, okay? So if I got the ball here, my team is going that way. All right, we identify direction, okay? We identify the goal, okay? So make sure you establish your goal. What is you want to accomplish this month? We're still early, it's only March 8th. What are the things you want to accomplish this month, okay? Write it down, that's your goal. All right, so we have the goal here. Now, in basketball, in most sports, there's opposition, okay? Just like I said, identify your obstacles, okay, this month. Identify your obstacles. So as I'm looking at the basket, there are obstacles, okay? And these obstacles are defenders. So one of these defenders can be fear, okay? We talk about obstacles, we talk about defense, we talk about knowing the landscape, we talk about your competition. But for some of us, our greatest competition or our greatest obstacle is ourselves, because we're battling fear. Okay, so the very first cone here, so to speak, defender, could be fear. So you got to figure out, okay, I got to maneuver around fear. Okay, the next one, that could be procrastination. Okay, procrastination could be in your way and stopping you. Maybe this is something you should have done 5 years ago. Okay, but you kept putting it off. You kept putting it off. So that could be another obstacle. So in order to overcome that, you just got to do it. Like Nike said years ago, just do it. Okay? Don't keep putting off today. Don't put off tomorrow for what you can do today. Okay? Another obstacle, okay? A third one that's going to try to impede you to getting to your goal, getting to the basket. Okay? It could be the fear of what people would say, or worried about the thoughts of what people would say or think about you. That's another form of fear, but it's more dealing with people. Some of us have other people in our minds so much and we're worried about what they might think. That's another obstacle, because you're so worried about disappointing, you're so worried about what they may think. So we gotta learn how to do some self-inventory when it comes to maximizing your potential. Okay, we gotta learn to do some self-inventory. Everything isn't what's out there. Everything isn't always what we see out there. Some things are from within. Some of the obstacles, some of the competition, okay? We can be our biggest obstacle, okay? So as you're pursuing your goals this month, as you're setting a goal, as you go out to maximize, you want to get the most out of your potential, write down what you want to accomplish first. Write it down, okay? Secondly, find out what it's going to take for you to get there. Count the costs, okay? You want to go back to school, figure out what it's going to cost. Okay, you want to complete your education. Maybe you want to be a manager in a certain company. Figure out what you got to do. And then next, okay, and this is all we're going to talk about today. I'm about to wrap it up. Next is, what are the obstacles? What are the deterrents? What are the things that are standing in your way that can impede your progress or even cause you to forfeit your dreams? Okay, there are dream killers and there are dream stealers. What are those things around you or inside you that are keeping you from pursuing? All right, that's all I have for today. Hope you got a lot out of it. I wanted to do something different in the gym, back at the barn. I'm about to get my game on here, some one-on-one, but work on my shot. But thank you for tuning in. Always remember, you're destined for greatness. Never give up. Remember the power of encouragement. Sometimes you got to encourage yourself. All right? Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on Thursday.
Second.